Hey there, welcome to First Five. If you're looking for encouragement, you came to the right place. Let's dive in. You know, I heard a pastor say one time that the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. And you're like, can I say that? Listen, I don't know. I heard a pastor say it, so I'm just repeating it back to you what I heard. But truly, I'm here today to make you a little mad. So let's get after it. Here's the statement that I think will make you just a tiny bit upset. You're carrying too much. You're carrying too much. Whatever it is that you're carrying too much. And I only say that because, you know, maybe there's a select few of you who are not as ambitious as others. Maybe there's a select few of you who know how to delegate tasks responsibly and accordingly. Maybe there's a select few of you who don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, or don't carry the weight of your family on your shoulders, or don't carry the weight of your employees on your shoulders, or don't carry the weight of your organization on your shoulders. Like, maybe there's a select few of you that don't do that. But for the majority of people that I've encountered in my life, I've seen that they carry too much, myself included. I'm in a process of shedding those things, but I believe it's a continual process throughout the whole of life that we have to figure out what it means to release, what it means to delegate. It's really what I want to talk about today. And there's a passage of scripture in the Bible that is so practical, it's mind-blowing. Like, I don't even understand how I saw this verse, and I've read through this passage of scripture before, but I saw this verse like sometime last year as I was reading through the Bible, and I was like, yo, I've never seen this before. Like, it just popped off the page. And as we're going through, you know, these passages of scripture on this podcast, Exodus 18 came up, and I was like, yo, here it is again. And I just figured this is the perfect word for you right now. You're carrying too much. Here's a beautiful thing in the scripture. We have an example, a practical example of what it looks like to have hope to have hope for the future, to have hope for a release of the things that you're carrying. So it's super practical. What happens here is that Jethro is the father-in-law to Moses. Jethro visits, sends a letter over to Moses. He's like, listen, I've heard about all the wonderful things that God has done. He's delivered you from all these amazing things. I'd love to come visit you. So he comes, he visits Moses. Jethro, father-in-law of Moses, visits Moses. Now they sit down, they embrace one another. Hey, how are you? How are you? Well, they talk about each other's well-being, and they go into the tent, and Moses begins to tell him about all the things that God did to Pharaoh and all the things that God did for the Israelites. So he begins to just tell him the whole story. And seriously, like, Jethro is over the moon. He is praising God for everything that's happened. And even, you know, they do a sacrificial meal, and Aaron and the other priests come, and they all sit and eat. It's just a wonderful time. But then the next morning, this happens. I want to read this to you. This is like Jethro's wise advice to Moses. It says, the next day, Moses took his seat to hear the people's disputes against each other. They waited before him from morning till evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people, he asked, what are you really accomplishing here? Yikes. Why are you trying to do all this alone while everyone stands around you from morning till evening? Moses replied, because the people come to me to get a ruling from God. When a dispute arises, they come to me, and I am the one who settles the case between the quarreling parties. I inform the people of God's decrees and give them his instructions. This is not good, Moses' father-in-law exclaimed. You're going to wear yourself out, the people too. This job is too heavy a burden for you to handle all by yourself. Then it says, verse 19, now listen to me and let me give you a word of advice, and may God be with you. You should continue to be the people's representative before God, bringing their disputes to him. Teach them God's decrees and give them his instructions. Show them how to conduct their lives, but select from all the people some capable, honest men who fear God and hate bribes. Appoint them as leaders over groups of 1,150 and 10. They should always be available to solve the people's common disputes, but have them bring the major cases to you. Let the leaders decide the smaller matters themselves. They will help you carry the load, making the task easier for you. If you follow this advice, and if God commands you to do so, then you will be able to endure the pressures, and all these people will go home in peace. Then what happens is that Moses listens. He listens to the advice that's given. You are carrying too much. You are carrying far too much, and there's an opportunity here for you to be able to release. We learn very practically in this scripture what delegation looks like in the life of a person, what delegation looks like in the life of a leader. How many of you have ever been in a situation like that before? Maybe it's in your work environment where you feel like you're just putting the team on your back. Like, well, maybe it's in your organization where you feel like you are constantly doing the work. You're making everything happen. You're sitting down, you're taking in all of the complaints, all of the work, all of the baggage, and you're putting it on your shoulders. You're adding extra weight onto you that doesn't belong there. And maybe you just need somebody to come alongside you and friendly remind you, hey, what are you really accomplishing here? That's just my question for you today. What are you really accomplishing here by steamrolling your way through life? What are you really accomplishing here by putting the entirety of the workload on your back? What are you really accomplishing here by taking it all on yourself? Maybe you're a single mom and you're raising that baby girl or that baby boy all by yourself. The dad's not in the picture. You need a community around you. The father may not be present, but there are spiritual fathers that can step in his place. You may not have the family support that you want, but there is family that can be found in the family of God. What are you really accomplishing by taking it all by yourself? I know you're strong. Listen, I know you're strong, bro. I know you're strong, baby girl. Like, I get it. You are strong. You are capable. You can do this. But you were never meant to do it alone. And just like Jethro said to Moses, you're going to wear yourself out and the people that you serve too, if you continue to take these things on your shoulders. So here's the practical advice. Here's my encouragement for you today. Just like Jethro said to Moses, I want to encourage you, man, find some people. Find some people that you can delegate tasks to. Maybe that's in your workplace. Maybe that's employees that you have under you. Don't take all that work on yourself. Find some people that you can delegate tasks to. Find some people that you can pass along the things that, frankly, are the smaller matters in your life. Now, that doesn't mean that they're less important. That just means that maybe they don't need the bulk of your space and your attention, so that you can focus on what only you can do, what God has uniquely called you and wired you to do. Find some people that you can delegate tasks to. Maybe it's volunteers within the realm of your organization. Maybe it's just some friends that can help you out. Maybe it's a family member that can help you out. Whatever it is, find some people that you can delegate some tasks to. If you're in that parent situation, maybe you just need to call up a friend and be like, listen, I need you to come over here and watch this kid for a couple hours while I clean, or do whatever. Just find some people, find a community of people that can come alongside you, that you can begin to delegate tasks to and have conversations with about what it means to do things together as a village, as a community of people. You don't have to do this alone. You are carrying far too much. But here's the good news. You have an opportunity to release that burden. Jesus says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You can find rest in him. You can take off that heavy yoke and exchange it for the lightness, for the easiness of Jesus's yoke and the lightness of his burden. Let him guide, let him direct. You can get out of the driver's seat and allow God to bring a community of people around you to help you drive the car to the intended destination. I really hope that encouraged you today. We'll talk soon.